Right, are we live? How loud is the microphone? Right, is that better? Yeah, it's just peeking into the yellow. If I turn it up a little bit, it means I don't have to strain so much when I'm speaking. Right. Sometimes Derail Valley doesn't capture the mouse pointer, so I've got to click off and click on. Right, I'm trying to decide what to do today. I'm going to do another narration video. Right, there's two things I want to cover in a narration video. Is the use of the DM3. I know, I'll tell you what my thoughts on that in a minute. And I want to get the license for the Steam engines and experiment with them. Right, DM3. I think because DM3 is here, maybe we should attempt a DM3 video. Although there's lots of other videos on the operation of the DM3 on there, and I'm no expert. I'm just someone who plays the game. Yeah, there's lots of other videos on the DM3 on YouTube. When I did the YouTube analytics, I found that other people were searching for DM3 operations. Hang on, let me cough. Did I mute that in time? Anyway, yeah, other people are searching for the DM3 operations, right? So DM3 is based on a class 05, is it, or 03? British Rail class 0305, a small shunter made in the early 1950s, a straight 8 diesel engine. It doesn't exactly look perfect, but it's okay. It's good representation. It's got certain types of brakes. I'm not sure which one's lapped and non-lapped brakes, but anyway, the brakes on this are incompatible with the diesel electrics. So I found when we're using DM3, I need to isolate its brakes from the diesel electrics. So we'll do that like that by just closing the airlines, the brake airlines. Right, make sure the handbrakes are off on all of these and the brakes are off. Right, the DM3 can't operate the traction motors on the Slug. Right, make sure the handbrakes are off on these. Moving around a bit fast, am I? Right. But the DM3 can use the brakes on wagons, and it's compatible with the brakes on. It's compatible with the brakes on the Slug if the Slug was directly attached to it. But as I was told by a viewer last week, the Slug is better. It's better used when there's a diesel electric on either side of it. Apparently, the traction is better on it. Yeah, I've found one source that collaborated that, so I've been experimenting with having a diesel electric either side of the Slug. So I've lost the use of its brakes when we're using the DM3 because we've got this diesel electric in the way. So this rake, if we were using the DM3 with this rake of locomotives at the moment, we'd only have the use of the brakes from the DM3 itself and the caboose. And what wagons we got attached. Can you still hear me? I'm checking the audio levels. Right. Where the hell is the torch? Let's go the torch first. Where's the torch? Flashlight, if rather. Yeah, charge. Check the charge. It's the charge. Right. Close the door. Close the door. Getting my louse cold. Right. Yeah, the reason I've got these locomotives set together is because the owned vehicles in this set are the caboose, the little electric on the end, and the Slug, and I don't want the other ones despawning when we move a certain distance away, if we ever move a certain distance away. So I've left these coupled together because I'm quite attached. I quite like this is the first DM3 I used in the game, so I quite like it. And the first locomotive I used in the game was this what was it? Excuse me, D2 here. So I don't really want to use it. Number 89. Don't really want to lose them. I'm quite attached to them. Right. Operation. Right, let's turn the electrics on. Boop. Boop. Alright. I know there's lots of other videos on YouTube about the operation. I mean, really, they're probably going to be laughed at. So I'm not going to be able to do a video as good as anyone else has done on this. But like I said, people are searching for DM3 usage, so I may as well jump on the bandwagon. I'm not going to do as detailed as anyone else. Let's just, where's the cab light? Where's the cab light? Cab light there. I mean, I prefer to use the oil lamp because it just looks a bit, I don't know, it's more homely, more intimate with the light from the lamp rather than the soul-sucking cab light. Right, where are we? Yeah, this is the reverser, forward, reverse, neutral, throttle. So throttle, these are gears. You can think of these as 2 3-speed gearboxes: low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. You know, I ignore this. Basically, the gear sequence that shows you the ratio is going up from lowest to highest. But you know, just push this one up. What I've been doing is just pushing this one up to the middle, pushing that one up, pushing that one up, then pushing this one up, pushing this one up, and just doing the same sequence backwards. You know, and it's done well for us so far. Right, this brake controls just the brakes on the DM3 itself. This controls the brakes on the whole rake, whatever, all the wagons you've got attached. Right, there goes fuel cut off, sander, forward, back, fuel gauge, sand gauge, speedo, tachometer, which is engine revs, oil temperature, just keep it down, oil, brake pipe. What should we talk about next? What else can we talk about? Handbrake on. Well, the on's on at the moment. I don't know what the hell to cover. I mean, just use it, start it up, and just experiment using it. If you break it, you break it. I mean, when dragging it with other locomotives, just make sure it's in neutral, I guess. Oh, this is the engine brake. It just like slows down the engine. I mean, there's no rules. Just use it as you see fit. I mean, using the engine brake when you're travelling forward at a certain speed and you want to change up a gear or change down a gear, I've been using the engine brake just to bring the revs down, and I change down once it's past the 600 revs per minute. Then once it's down below that, you can go down a gear, and if it's above that, if I'm getting about 80, 90 or 900 revs per minute, then go up a gear. That's my personal rules. That's my personal policy. Again, make sure the engine brake is off and the throttle is down before changing gear, otherwise you'll crunch the gears. Right, there's a starter motor. Starter motor, again, if you go, it's possible to stall this thing, but then you can just put it in neutral and start it up again. Right, the brakes. Right, push it forward to come on. Right, the brakes and see the little red needle? Oh, come on. Little red needle's going up. There you go. So there's pressure in the brake lines, so the brakes are on. Pull it back to let the pressure out and the brakes go off. Right, let's put the brakes on. Right. There's only imagine 3 positions. Put this in the middle position and it'll hold the brake pressure. So you can pull it off for a little bit, put it back to the center position, and it will hold the brake pressure. There you go, see it's holding the brake pressure about, what's that, half a bar. So that works different to the brakes on these things, where you can just put it on a little bit, and then or you can put it on a lot, and it's continuously variable essentially. Right, pull that off. Right, got the reverser. Set that forward. I think all the handbrakes are off. Put the handbrake off. Pull the throttle a little bit, and off we go. There you go. It's moving. Right, the engine here, I believe, powers the gearbox down here, and the gearbox turns this jack shaft here, and the jack shaft turns the wheels through the I was going to say cross beams. What are they? Connecting rods. Through the connecting rods. Yeah. I believe there's no. I believe the reason why there's no wheel there is because most of the weight is over here, and they need the weight on the wheels in the real life thing to maximise traction. And I believe having a wheel at the back, we won't have enough traction on it. And this maximises the weight over the wheels are under the centre of gravity essentially to maximise the traction. I mean, people are probably going to correct me on that anyway. Where are we going? Where are we going? Right, we'll prop it. There we go. Put the brakes on. Stopping. Slap it to neutral. We've got the lights where front lights. One light I think is like dipped lights, isn't it? I'm gonna make this wrong now, aren't I? 2 lights is like a main beam, and then you take the 3rd light switch and it goes to red. Red light. Same on the reverse. There's similar setup with the reverse. Right, so let's have 2 light switches. We've got the lights up the front. Am I moving around too fast with this? Right, let's move back. Pull the brakes off. Personally, I like leaving that in the centre. I guess it doesn't matter if you want the brakes fully off. Reverser set to go the other way. Pull the throttle and back we go. Back, change the gear, down the throttle, move the gear lever up, then you can pull the throttle again. We've changed up a gear. I don't know what points are set back there. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be going down there. I assume towards the roundhouse. A bit more throttle. The revs climb down, move enough through the gear level, go up the gear, there we go. We've gone up another gear. Moving the gear levels with the throttle on or the engine brake on will crunch the gears and you'll hear it. Down the throttle, move up the gear. Go again. Right, to go down a gear. So we're cruising along now. If you go down the gear at the moment with it like this, it'll over rev the engine, and I don't want to brake it, and it could break. We don't want to brake it if we went down the gear right now. So this is a good time when I suppose we could use the engine brake. It'll just bring the revs down, slow us down a little bit without using the brakes. Slow us down. Once we're below 60, pull the engine brake off, and then we can go down a gear. When the revs climb, because we've gone down a gear, all points are set. But I mean, we're not gonna hit anything anyway. Right. What's next? What's next? A little bit more engine braking. Pull the engine brake off, and we'll go down a gear again without crunching anything, hopefully. Of course, if we're reversing uphill now at the moment, where's the gradient? It'll start going uphill. Around there, we'll start going uphill. It'll slow down a bit faster. You know, gravity does that if you go uphill. Now, we can go into the lowest gear now. The lower the gear is, the faster the revs will come down. Right. Use the brakes. We don't have to use maximum brakes to slow us down. You can slow us down with a little bit of brake. Remember, putting this into center will hold the brake pressure. We haven't got maximum brakes on at the moment, and we're still slowing down. It should stop here soon, I hope. Stop. There we go. Oh, that's good enough. Right, can we put that into neutral? There we go. What else is there to say? It's just... What else is there to say? I don't know, I really enjoy using this. I really enjoy using it. But I have broken it quite a few times. Yeah, like I said, there are lots of other videos on the use of the DM3. It's just that I've noticed that people are searching for them. Come into my videos searching for using the DM3, so I just thought I'd do this little video just to demonstrate how it's used. I'd like to see more British engines in the game. You know, in the actual, is it Class 03 or 05? The exhaust is up front. I'm sure there's Heritage Railways and that who'll license the use of their actual engines. There's lots of these around on the British network, in Heritage Railways and that. I'm sure they could be properly licensed and used in the game. Anyway, what are we doing? Let's go the other way. Let's go back to where we were. Reverser, set that way. It's a good idea every few minutes, or like, just to check that where all the controls are, where you know where all the controls are. That's the thing I got from aviation. Like I think it's every 15 minutes you've got to go through every single dial and everything, just to make sure everything's fine and nothing's what's the word? I was going to say out of whack. That's not the word I'm looking for. But out of spec. Pull the brakes off. Right, set that to the middle. I personally set that to the middle, but I think by default it goes to the brakes off position. There's other people using the brakes off position. Right, we're in gear. Right, there's a fluid clutch down there, so as we're at rest with the brakes on, it shouldn't move, but it will creep. If we're lightly loaded, the brakes are off and it's in gear, even though the engine's idling, it will creep forward like any vehicle with a fluid torque converter. But I mean, we've got a bunch of, well, they're not wagons and locomotives attached, so it probably won't creep. Maybe if we just put a little bit of throttle and stop, it'll just move forward slowly on its own. It's just an idiosyncrasy, a side effect of having a torque converter, which they've tried to emulate in game, which is quite good. Because I mean, the reason why I personally play Derail Valley is because it's realistic. I hope my voice isn't peaking too much, because I'm just looking at the audio levels there. Should I put the microphone down a little bit? We're still moving? Yeah, still moving slowly. See, he'll just creep. I like the sound of the engine. I think they've got the sound of the engine really good. It sounds like a big meaty diesel. No, that's probably the most satisfying sound in the game so far is the engine on this. Throttle down, up gear, throttle back. Pull it back to go throttle up. Yeah. Just make sure all the other dials are in their correct positions. Throttle down before going up a gear, or throttle up again. It'll brake if any of these go into the red. I'm not including sand or fuel. I mean, it won't move without fuel, but it won't explode and it won't need to repair it, I don't think. I haven't run out of fuel in game yet. I think that'll happen when we got the steamers going. Throttle down, up a gear, and pull the throttle again. Yeah, I'm doing another narration video to practice my narration, my voice. It's just something I need to practice my elocution and speaking. Because at the moment I think I'm speaking too fast. Am I easy to understand? Am I talking too loud, too slow, too soft, too slurry? Don't know, I need to practice, don't I? See, I'll only go down gear once the needle is that on the revs is that side of 60. So we can go down gear. And it shoots up because we've gone down to a low gear. Slow us down a bit, and either use the brakes or the engine brake. The engine brake, you know definitely the engine revs will come down. Make sure it's that side of 60 before going down the gear. Yeah, so far, out of all the diesels in the game, this is the most satisfying to use, in my opinion. Just watching brake pressure come up, put that into the middle, so we can hold the brakes, don't need maximum brakes, make sure the engine brake is off, throttle is down, and we come to a stop. Brakes fully on. Brake on. There we go. Put the reverser into neutral. It says there, reverser, throttle. What else is there to say? Cab light. Dash light, which is the light for the instruments. Wipers, 1 speed. 2 speed. Yeah, both on goes the higher speed, just one on goes the 1 speed. Doesn't matter which one. It'll always be the lowest speed no matter which one's on. Slip sander. What else is there to say? Yeah, you got these little spaces for controls here, because the controls are on the right. Yeah, I think it's the Americans, isn't it, have the railway controls on the right. Because in the UK, we have the railway controls on the left, even though our vehicles are right-hand, the road vehicles are right-hand drive, the rail vehicles are left. It's the other way around in the States, isn't it? So, I mean, I have got it penciled into my places to go day trips list. And I'd like to go to a heritage railway and actually get a look at one of these. Is it Class 03? It is a Class 03, isn't it? Actually have a look at one, because I bet the ones in the UK will have the controls on the left, or it could be duplicated on either side. What else is there to say? Yeah, these were all built in the Class 03s were all built when post 1947, when British Airways came in, so they would all be left-hand drive in the UK. Now, if they were on the main lines, but for shunting duties, I'm not sure. I'd like to actually see one in real life. Because wasn't it Great Western Railway which had right-hand drive steam engines, and all the other railway companies in the UK previous to 1947 were left-hand drive? I mean, I could go on about how lines like the railway lines through Barry were originally the other way around because the signals were on the side, and when they changed the push rails, or else they changed it. That's outside of the scope of this video, isn't it? I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to talk about. Maybe I should end it here and then go do a video about the steamers. I have absolutely no idea how to use the steamers at all. That would be an interesting video. Me just trying to use it with absolutely no knowledge at all. Well, it's not no knowledge at all. I got basic knowledge, but it's just what I've heard and not actually what I've researched. Alright, hang on. Right, pull this engine off. Right, starter off. See a thing, is it? Right, the handbrake's on. This ain't going anywhere. Okay, let me tab out and then stop the video, because is that good enough? I'll probably get laughed at in the comments or something and get loads of downvotes. Well, whatever happens, it happens. I'm just trying to hoover up views for the videos which people seem to be searching for. Even though there are other videos on YouTube of people of how to use the DM3. Right, hang on, what am I going to do? Press escape, tab out, and stop recording.